Hey, welcome to Plants Are My Therapy. I figured the best way for you to get to know me is by me giving you a tour of the plants in front of my house. These are ground orchids. The purple variety of these plants used to grow wild behind my grandmother's house. I believe they originated in China, but nothing, or at least no plant says Hawaii more than orchids. I got the yellow version of this plant because I figured the yellow color goes great against the maroon trim of my house. I even bought a maroon pot to put this plant in, and in no time this plant just filled up this pot with all these yellow flowers and these leaves. This is the front of my house. I put another yellow ground orchid in the front of my house just for design's sake. This blue stork cost only $15 from Ross's. I had three beautiful, tall, wrought iron storks that had copper patina finishing that cost between $350 to $500 each. But they all flew away, which is strange because I live in a really good neighborhood. Most of my neighbors have yard services that keep their yards looking perfectly manicured, but it looks like the mainland. I live in Hawaii, so I want it to look like I live in Hawaii. Oh, these are my white Sansevieria. I fell in love with these as soon as I saw them on YouTube, and I went out to look for them, but they were so expensive. It was like $35 just for a small plant. But I got these plants for free. They were on clearance at Home Depot, and the girl at the cash register thought that they were going to die, so she just gave them to me free. They were waterlogged and looked like they were root rotted. I just laid them out, dried them up, and repotted them in dry soil, and they're looking great. I'm really proud of this plant because the first shoot that came out of this plant was a regular Sansevieria. I don't know if you guys know this, but the reason why the white Sansevieria has this coloration is because of a virus in its rhizome. Otherwise, it'll just revert to the regular Sansevieria, and I don't need any more of those. And these are my spider plants. These are the Hawaiian version of the spider plants, or the Hawaiian cultivar. And this is my peace lily. I have quite a few peace lilies. They make really good house plants, and I alternate them in and out of the house. They do well in low light inside the house, but they do better in indirect light outside of the house. I just love these lush leaves. They're just so beautiful. And this is an areca palm I found growing in my yard. I hate to see the bird that dropped that because an areca bead is kind of big. But anyways, these plants are also known to be one of the best air purifiers. And this is a lucky bamboo that I got from our friend, a very good friend. Actually, this is not a bamboo. This is a Dracaena. It's called a lucky bamboo, but it belongs to the Dracaena family. And all of the plants from the Dracaena family are actually pretty good. They also tolerate low light. They also purifies the air, and they're easy to propagate. This one I propagated first in water, and then after that I put it in soil. This is my first rubber tree. This is a burgundy rubber tree, and we have a lot of these rubber trees in Hawaii. Some people plant them in their yard. I will not plant them in my yard. They will destroy your sprinkler system. They will destroy your plumbing. They might even crack the foundation of your house. These trees, especially in the tropics, can grow up to 80 to even 100 feet. These are my ZZ plants. I took them apart, or I separated them recently, and I put it in a spot where I thought they would thrive, but they got too much sun. These plants can handle low light, but they grow pretty fast in indirect high light. And I overestimated their tolerance, and they got singed. Oh, speaking of singed, this plant is a black coral Sansevieria. I looked hard and long to find one that wasn't burnt at the garden store, and I potted it into this pot. I put it in I thought was a safe spot, and then the angle of the sun changed when it became autumn, and then they burnt. I don't know what I'm going to do with this plant. I'm hoping that I can save it. This is my first cultivation of philodendrons. They're actually doing quite well. All those little leaves in the middle are all new plants. I just stuck leaves at the edge of the plant, at the edge of the pot, just like this, and it didn't look that great, but in a few months it grew into this. Those plants are pretty sturdy. And then I have a lot of aloe vera plants. All of my aloe vera plants came from one plant that a good friend gave me, and it was about this size. This is another peace lily that's a little under a year old that I'm going to check because this plant is being attacked by slugs. This is my favorite rubber tree. This is the Taniki. It looks like a watercolor painting. Look at the red stripe down the middle and the different levels, the different shades of white on the dark green. I just love this plant. And this is another Sansevieria. Sansevieria is one of my favorite plants. This is a lighter colored one. It didn't turn this way because I deprived it of light. It was like this when I bought it. And this is another ZZ plant, another plant similar to the Sansevieria. And this is another Sansevieria that I got from a laundry lady friend. She gave me a bunch of these plants. I didn't have time to pot them. So about 3 days later I potted them, and then they all sprouted. It was amazing. This is my favorite peace lily that I forgot in the koi pond. This is my Chinese evergreen that I got from another good friend. And these are the other these are the other Sansevierias that I got from my laundry lady. They're all sprouting. I left them out for 3 days, and when I put them in soil, they all just took off. This was a little disappointment. These plants, this is a bird's nest Sansevieria, and I repotted them and put them in this concrete planter, and they were doing well, but when the angle of the sun changed, they started to struggle, and then I was worried that they were gonna die, but they look like they're doing okay. They haven't turned any browner. This is what those plants are going to turn into. This is such a beautiful plant. I mean, it doesn't grow like a Sansevieria. It grows like a Dracaena. Instead of growing straight up, it grows like this. And then I'm struggling with this this aloe vera. I have a lot of aloe vera. Like the rubber tree and a lot of other plants, I will not plant aloe vera in the ground because they are very aggressive. They are very useful plants. They have a very good reputation, but in no time they will take over your yard, and it may cost a couple $100 for you to hire someone to get rid of them. Anyway, this is the front of my yard. I'm currently standing in my neighbor's yard because Hawaii, there's a very limited amount of land, so land is very expensive and lots are very small. These are aloe vera that I lined up against this walk because I've been having this problem with this 14-year-old girl coming over in the middle of the night, about 10 o'clock at night, trying to sneak into my property to get to the back room to see one of my grandsons. I have a strict homeowners association, so this row of aloe vera is going to have to do. I also upgraded my security system. My neighbor told me that one night around 10 or 11 o'clock she saw a girl sneak up her driveway and scale along this wall to get into my courtyard to get to the back of my house. That's why I have plants as my therapy. You know, I didn't tell you about this tree that we were under all this time. This tree is beautiful. Actually, This is not a tree, this is a plant. This is a Tahitian gardenia tree, and I got the yellow version, or yellow cultivar. This tree is beautiful. I trained it to go up and then drape down. I had a couple problems with the association about this tree. They wanted me to trim it back, but I explained to them how beautiful these flowers are, and I took pictures of them. This tree is not even in full bloom, and look how beautiful these flowers are. These flowers start out as white in the morning, and then they turn yellow throughout the day, and then dark orange that evening. And the next day it'll do that again. So in one tree we're going to have a variety of different colors of blossoms, and this is how the tree is. At night, this tree is so fragrant. You can smell the blossoms, you know, a couple houses in both directions. And then I like walking through this tunnel of tree, or just walking under this tree. I just think this is so lush and so tropical. This reminds me of my grandmother's yard. My grandmother had a half an acre because she's Native Hawaiian, but I think I captured the tropical feeling of living in Hawaii by my gardening. I just really love this tree. I loved how it turned out. I'm glad the association allows me to have this tree. I just love these flowers. I'm just so happy. I never liked the color orange before, but now I love the color orange because of this flower. This is the tour of my front yard. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please comment below. We can have positive, happy conversations below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Aloha.